guys, welcome back. Cerulean TV here. We're in the fun season, we're in the Fated season for Season 4 here, and we're going to bring you in an Unholy Death Knight guide for Mythic Plus Dungeons specifically. It's been a little bit, but we're cranking pretty hard in Season 4 already. It's been a lot of fun. Let's get right into it. I got started with talents. For us, absolutely nothing has changed. None of our talents got changed at all this season. We don't have any reworks for this season at all, so exact same talent trees. For those of you that are new, we take pretty much all the standard things. There's some flex points you can change around. Maybe you don't want AMZ, maybe you want better death strikes, maybe you want some more leech, maybe your group needs another stun, you get asphyxiate. You can also swap around the talents here on the bottom a little bit. Maybe you don't use Insidious Chill and you use Blood Draw, and you take out a point of Will and Necropolis, put it to Blood Draw, put another point into Unholy Bond. Just a couple things you can change here and there. For the most part, that's pretty locked in. This is what I like to run personally. And the spec tree, pretty much set in stone. Not much for you to change there. You can maybe swap Morbidity into Ghoulish Frenzy maybe a point, but I think Morbidity is better for Super Strain and our dot build that we're going here with the diseases. It's pretty much all we got for talents. I'll link that in the description as well. For stat priority, again, nothing has changed. Obviously, strength comes first, and then mastery, haste, crit, then verse. Haste better for single target, crit better for AoE, verse great for staying alive. So any combination of that, just as you get more gear, sim yourself, but follow that stat priority for the most part. I'm almost overcapped on mastery at this point, honestly. It's starting to recommend me take a lot of other pieces. You can see I have a lot of verse as well. That's from Neltharion's Trinket, which we'll talk about in our ear later on. But I guess we can go right into trinkets right now that I mention it. Your best trinkets for the season are going to be Mirror Refractor Tomorrows, which you can still get from Dawn of the Infinite Hard mode. You get a Hero Track version. So that goes up to 522, which will be best for you. If you do a Deathless, it goes to Myth Track. So, and then your other best trinket will be Neltharion's Call to Suffering, which you can either get from raids Awakened, or you can spend a Bullion on it. And we'll talk about Bullion usage after this. But those will be your two bists. If you can't get those, or for some reason, you should be able to. But you see at the moment I have a Iridius Fragment because I haven't gotten a Mirror drop yet. Your other good on-use trinkets will be Iridius or Blazebinder's Hoof, maybe. Some other passive stat sticks could be Sandglass from Dawn of the Infinites as well, hard mode. Or Ominous Chromatic Essence, or Pips, or Whispering Incarnate Icon, kind of any of the stat sticks. Whatever you get, just sim yourself. There's a lot of really good trinkets this season, so you can kind of roll with whatever you want. But like I said, your best in slot will definitely be Mirror and Neltharion's Call to Suffering. Again, that's giving me a ton of verse, so a lot more survivability and keys, which is very nice. Speaking of bullions, what do we want to spend our bullions on this season? Your first two, obviously you want to spend on Legendary. Get that Awakened, get that up to 535. That's your best weapon by a mile, strictly because of eye level, more strength. Your second set of bullions should definitely be used on Neltharion's Call to Suffering. Very good trinket, very strong for us, gives us some survivability with that verse and keys. And then after that, it's probably going to be, it'll be definitely a sim yourself angle. But the very rare rings from Vault are very good, because dealing fire damage has their procs. Guess what does fire damage? Fear Laugh, as well as the head enchant does fire damage. So you'll be getting the procs from both of those. One of them has great mastery on it, one of them has great verse. Verse good for keeping us alive, mastery obviously best. So when we get to that point in the season, probably like next week for me, I'll probably sim, see if I want to take those. Another option could possibly be Sarkareth Cape, just because it's 424, or sorry, it's Myth Track. Goes up to 428. Kind of troll because you're stealing stuff for your teammates, but that could also be an option for you as well if you sim yourself and find these aren't really doing much for you, depending on what your current ring stack looks like. As far as embellishments go for this season, moving away from Lariat a little bit. Been playing around with Blue Silken Linen on my neck and wrists. That's been great. It gives you a lot of mastery for those mirror procs, since our haste is getting pretty dang high now too. If not, some combo of maybe Lariat, maybe Frostfire Legs, maybe Allied Wrist Guards, but I'd probably go double Blue Silken Lining to be 100% honest. You can save yourself otherwise, but it's really good. It's a lot of mastery. Our tier set, nothing's changed since last season. We still have this goated tier set that I love. I absolutely love our Magus's Firing Shadow Bolt Volleys. They turned this into a talent for War Within, we just learned, so that's really cool, so we'll get to keep this. I absolutely love the feel of this tier set. Loved it last season, love it this season. So nothing has changed there. And I think that pretty much covers it for gear. We can go to rotation now. Again, nothing has changed. I'll put it up on the screen here. But for those of you that are new, when you're running into a pack, you hit your army, drop your Defile as you run in, hit Scourge Strike to start Platebringer, and then you blow everything. And then you just spam Epidemics and keep your Platebringer buff up. And that's all there is to Unholy. Pretty simple. One option you may want to do as well is I just realized there is a little change since my last video. I didn't have Legendary when I made my last video. But you may also want to get out of combat. Actually, we don't have to get out of combat, but say when you press Army when you're running in, you might just want to Fearlath in and get that out of the way. And then start ripping all of your cooldowns, your Unholy Blight, your DT, Apocalypse, Unholy Weapon, Unholy Assault, Rune Weapon, Radius Fragment, Power Pot, and then just keep your Defile up, keep your percent Mastery buff up, Plaguebringer buff up, spam your Epidemics. Single target, only difference is you spam Death Coils instead of Epidemics. And that's all there is to Unholy's rotation. That really simplifies it. I have some in-depth videos in the past going over it if you want to go and watch those. But that's pretty much the gist of it. If you have any more questions, ask in the comments. I'm very happy to answer them. What else can we go over? I guess one thing again here, gemming and enchants. Obviously head enchant, gem sim yourself. I've been doing crit, mastering haste, maybe some verse in the future. Obviously shadow belt, clasp, the strength and stam for your legs, whatever you want there. Ring enchants kind of negligible, whatever you want. Fallen Crusader, obviously. I take leech, I like leech a lot, and waking stats obviously on chest. I have 10% leech now because I have a lot of leech gear at the moment. Let me see, do I have any logs from a dungeon? No, it's just 6, so look, we can see anyways. But you see my leech did 30% of my healing. It's at 10%. It did 8 million total, 6.7 when you count overheal. So the leech was pretty good. As far as consumables go, I'm using haste mastery food, howling rune for more haste, burst flask, draconic augment rune obviously, and that pretty much covers it. And obviously elemental potions of ultimate power for that. That's pretty much it for the most part, guys. Not too much to talk about here. Obviously the same defensive usage for DKs. Make sure you're always rotating your Icebound, your AMS, and your Lichborn. Use your AMS to cancel so much stuff in dungeons. I've talked about that extensively in the past. You can cancel so many magic mechanics with that. It's great. Be dropping your bubble on big Tyran fights for people, anti-magic zone. And yeah, I think that's all we got, guys. So it's great to be back this season. We're pumping our way through, and we'll talk to you in the next one. Have fun out there, Death Knights.